So, L.A. Marzulli, just for everybody here, so they understand, is there proof, okay, real physical evidence of giants? And can you tell the public how real this is?
There is a hidden history that has been deliberately obfuscated from the peoples of the world, and that's why I am on the trail of the Nephilim. This is a piece of metal that we found in the Roswell debris field right there.
Wow.
This rewrites all of history.
Oh man.
It completely rewrites history, and this is why I'm way out in front of us. The fallen angels need the craft to go in and out of this dimension.
Places like Machu Picchu, do you see advanced ancient engineering or evidence of knowledge humanity no longer has? Okay.
There is technology in the heavenly realms, absolutely. When you see an orb floating around or zipping in or zipping out like that in a room, that, my friend, in my opinion, is a demon. And what people don't understand is everything that we're taught is a managed agenda.
Everyone seeks to know the future, but are you prepared to face the present, embrace change, and unlock your potential? Welcome to the Shift Connection podcast.
So this is a picture that I discovered out on, can you see me? Are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay. This is the picture that I discovered out on Catalina Island. This is in the book On the Trail of the Nephilim. So there's Ralph Glidden, and in front of him is a very large skeleton in situ.
There is no way that's a regular human being. Can you show it one more time, LA?
Yes,
and what book is that? Is that your book?
Yes, my book.
What's the name of the book, LA? Look, guys.
On the Trail of the Nephilim.
I'll put it on the link also, guys. If you guys want to get the book, please check it out. So
go ahead.
So there is overwhelming evidence, because you're not the only person researching this either, right, LA?
Well, in the beginning, I was.
Wow.
You know, nobody. I'm boasting here, but I mean, the History Channel used that photograph.
Oh, okay? Wow.
Yeah, I was on that the last episode of the Giants. So I want you to show you something. So we went back to the museum, my late business partner, Richard Shaw, and I. This is the picture that they had in the museum.
Look at that.
Right here.
It's amazing.
They cropped the giant out of the picture.
Oh my goodness.
They cropped the giant out of the picture. See that?
Wow.
Good luck. Nothing to see here, right?
Wow.
Nothing here at all.
Wow.
So that's a 9-footer. That's my discovery. I was never supposed to find that picture, guaranteed. Right. But I was in the archives in the Catalina Island Museum, and I had paid $1,000 for access to the archives, and it was all picked over, and everything was in manila folders, and the pictures were in sleeves. I had my camera set up, and the former curator, John Borgino, I said, "What do you want to see?" I said, "I want to see the pictures." So he brings out the pictures from this guy from 1919 and 1921. He was an amateur archaeologist, and I hit pay dirt within an hour. That picture was discovered in the first hour, which is extremely rare. It doesn't happen that way. And we've had it analyzed by 3 guys. It's essentially a 9-footer. So that is the Nephilim right here on Catalina Island. And we know, in fact, when I come down my canyon in the Santa Monica Mountains, I can see Catalina Island.
Wow.
Yeah,
So who decides then, LA, who's deciding what becomes real history or official history and what gets buried,
That's the thing. There's a byline. I do a show. I do a show every week on my YouTube. I mean, every day, not every week, every day. I do a show every single day, 7 days a week. Okay. So I'm a busy guy. And one of the shows that we do is On the Trail of the Nephilim. And one of the byline for that is there is a hidden history that has been deliberately obfuscated from the peoples of the world. And that's why I am on the trail of the Nephilim.
Right.
And what people don't understand is everything that we're taught is a managed agenda. So when you're in high school, at a public high school, you learn Darwinism.
Yeah.
And Darwinism is a complete crock. It's just, they're just pulling rabbits out of their hat.
Yeah.
It's a theory that's never been proven. And if Darwin had known about the complexity of a DNA, the deoxyribonucleic double helix strand, he would have rescinded his, because we know that when you get two hummingbirds and they mate, you're going to get a hummingbird. You're not going to get something else. And you can do that from now to the second coming. You're going to get a hummingbird. Not going to get a penguin. It's not going to become something else unless you go in and start manipulating the DNA.
Right.
Which is what the fallen angels were doing.
Yeah.
Way back.
Doing it today. That's why you got the Greys, all the, the Greys.
Yeah. Yeah.
They manipulate DNA. So that brings us to another question here. So I'm under the understanding, based on my research, because I don't, have you seen our videos by any chance? Any of our videos? Maybe no. So I had an encounter with a reptilian before I came to the Lord. I had an encounter with a reptilian being. He spoke to me telepathically.
That's what they do. Yeah.
He spoke to me telepathically. He brought me in my car and he told me to drive to the lake. And I live in Florida. There's lakes all over the place. He asked me to, this happened to me, and I did a testimony of this with a different, on a different podcast, and I put it up. I have it on the channel, but I'm telling you about it. So that's what opened my eyes to all this. I had an encounter with him. He took me in the car, spoke to me telepathically, and I remember parking right in front of the lake. I came face to face with him, and he told me, go to your car, telepathically. I couldn't do anything. I literally walked to my car, opened up the car, and he was sitting right inside of it on the passenger seat.
Wow.
Then I parked. He took me to park in front of a lake. He started speaking to me about the moon, the stars, and the sun, LA. He just gave me information. I don't remember what he said, but that was at 9 o'clock at night. 3 o'clock in the morning, somebody comes and knocks on the window of my car. What the hell are you doing? My ex-wife. What are you doing? And I'm like, I'm talking to this guy, and I look to the right. He's no longer there. He had vanished. Then these UFOs started following me around.
Yep.
They were following me around. Then I had the encounter. Then they kept following me around. You said in the beginning that you were practicing New Age, and you came to the Lord at 30, right? Did I hear that correctly?
Correct.
So you and I share the same testimony. I came to the Lord when I was 30, and I practiced Kundalini awakening.
There you go.
For many years, and I was able to astral project from my body. So what was actually happening is I was channeling all these entities. Number one, because I had no protection. I didn't have the blood of Jesus. I didn't have the blood of Yeshua. And I was channeling these entities without knowing it. And people don't understand how serious this truly is. So when you mentioned that in the beginning, man, I resonate with you, because I actually went through this before I came to the Lord. So these reptilian beings, they're here. Now, the big question is, and I was going to ask you, we know that they can shift into different forms, right?
Yeah. Yes.
My question is, are these the fallen angels? Are these the Nephilim? And do they have the capacity of shape shifting into actual flying saucers? Because that's the next question people have. And lastly, I heard FBI agent De Sosa a while back, and he spoke about the difference between UAPs and UFOs. And he mentioned that UAPs are actually created by the cabal to bring fear to the people of the world, because they cannot travel interdimensionally. But UFOs, however, can travel interdimensionally, making them possibly the fallen angels. So what's your take on this? Because I've encountered it, and I would love to hear what your thoughts are on this.
Well, it's complex. Let's start there. It's very complex, and nobody has all the answers. I don't have all the answers, but I'll tell you what I know, what I think. So there is craft, no doubt about that. And go look up 2 Kings chapter 6. So Elisha the prophet is surrounded by the Syrian army, and Elisha's servant Gehazi is freaking out. We're going to die. We're surrounded by the entire Syrian army. What do we do? And Elisha says, Lord, open his eyes. So Gehazi goes out of a tent, looks around. Above the Syrian army are what? Chariots of fire. So you're back thousands of years. There's nothing in your lexicon to even try to communicate what you're looking at. All you know is a chariot, which is the apex mode of transportation. That's it. Horse, chariot. That's it. It's all they have. There are no cars, trains, automobiles, none of that. You got a chariot pulled by a horse. So he looks up and he sees this vehicle, this thing, chariot, and then it's glowing in the night. It's glowing. All he has is oil lamps, fire. That's it.
Yeah.
Looks up and goes, I see a chariot of fire. Those are the good guys, Chris. Those are the good guys.
Okay.
There is technology in the heavenly realms. Absolutely. I'll give you one more example. So Adam and Eve are booted out. I'm
Wow.
working on a book on this. Adam and Eve are booted out of the Garden of Eden, right? 2 cherubim are there.
Yeah.
But between the cherubim is what? Is a flaming sword
Right.
that turns every which way.
Mm-hmm.
Cherubim are not turning the sword.
Yeah.
The sword is moving by itself.
Mm.
What is a flaming sword in modern day vernacular? What is that? It's a lightsaber.
Yeah.
It's a lightsaber.
Yeah. Wow.
When the 2 angels go in to destroy the inhabitants of Jerusalem,
Yeah.
they have what? They have slaughter weapons. What's a slaughter weapon? What's a slaughter weapon? That's technology.
Right.
When the Urim and the Thummim, when the breastplate of the high priest, when the stones light up,
Yeah.
right? That's technology.
Yeah.
When the Ark of the Covenant manifests, that's technology.
Divine technology. Yeah.
Divine technology.
Yeah.
So that's what we're looking at. So the fallen angels need the craft to go in and out of this dimension.
Also, they need that body. They need that body to travel through wormholes or to.
Correct.
Right. Okay. Gotcha.
So what you saw as a reptilian, in my opinion, is a fallen angel. It's not a Nephilim. It's a fallen angel.
Fallen angel. Yeah.
Demons are the disembodied spirits
Mm-hmm.
of the Nephilim. The Nephilim are the progeny of fallen angels, human women,
Yeah.
creating a Nephilim. They are soulless. They look like, well, they manifest as the Greys, but the Greys are just suits. They're avatars. They're biological constructs
Yeah.
by the dragon to house the demon.
They're
When
like
a demon-
minions. They're like their minions of them.
Well, yeah, and what the demon looks like is an orb. When
Yeah.
you see an orb floating around or zipping in or zipping out like that in a room, that, my friend, in my opinion, is a demon. That's what a demon
that's a Nephilim spirit.
Nephilim spirit. And so, in order for that thing to manifest, the demon has to inhabit a man or a woman, a person or an animal
Mhm.
or an object.
Yeah.
And that's how the demon. So what you saw was a fallen angel that manifested, and you were being, I'm sure you know this, you were being recruited.
I know.
Yeah, you were
And
being
that's why the Lord, I think, saved me shortly after
Absolutely.
that. And
That's
once I had and I've had many encounters. I wasn't the only one, LA, but once the Lord saved me, very interesting. I went through warfare for about 6 months when I came to the Lord. It was just horrible. I felt things coming out of my skin. I threw up black. So many things happened to me. I sound like a crazy person, but this happened to me. I can't lie. I can't, I got to tell you the truth. But interestingly, right after that, after the first 5 months of giving my life to the Lord, till this day, I have not had one encounter with any of the things that I've encountered before. And the Lord's been using me to do deliverances. And I never truly believed that much in this. And the Lord's been using me for deliverance all over the place. I just traveled to do a deliverance to 8 people in North Carolina. I just got back a week ago. And it was interesting to see the reaction because they got delivered. And then the next day, some of them went right back into what they were doing that they shouldn't be doing.
Wow.
And they're thinking, oh, this didn't work. The deliverance didn't work. And I'm trying to tell them, no, it did work. All right. Because they're trying to get more room. So they know they're losing the grip. So obviously they're going to take you into doing the same thing because the Bible says it clearly. 7 more will come to see if the house is clean. And that's talking about what? Nephilim spirits. That's exactly what it's talking about. See, people in their ignorance, the church calls this demons, but they are Nephilim spirits.
Nephilim spirit. That's what they are. I agree.
And they have no authority against the blood of Jesus. No authority against the blood of Yeshua. And I appreciate that the Lord is using me in that way right now, because people need deliverance. People need deliverance. Now, thank you, Marzulli, for everything you've shared so far. I know you were talking about the ancient structure and lost knowledge, right? You mentioned that at one point. So now I want to circle back to that, because this is going to get deep right here. When you look at places like Machu Picchu, and I know you can talk on this is why I'm bringing it up. We want to welcome you to the Faith Sower Pathway, a 12-month prophetic discipleship course that's designed to help you hear God's voice, to help you walk in your calling, and to get that missing piece in your faith walk with the Lord. This is not hype. This is not information. This is formation that produces transformation. So I want to show you something quickly, and then we'll get right back into the episode. Thank you very much for your time. Shalom.
Faith Sower Pathway. Awaken the life you were created for. 12 months. 12 modules. A journey built to reshape your identity, renew your mind, and awaken the gifts buried inside you. Real teaching, real guidance. Real transformation. This is where revelation becomes lifestyle. Where faith becomes power.
Places like Machu Picchu, do you see advanced ancient engineering or evidence of knowledge humanity no longer has?
Look, absolutely. Let me show you the book again. I've been to Machu Picchu.
Yeah.
On the trail of the Nephilim. So when you go there and you see this, let me see, where is it? When you go to a place like Sacsayhuaman and you stand in front of this huge megalithic structure and sitting there looking at this, and this is what it looks like. Hold on, give me a second. That's what it looks like. That's Sacsayhuaman.
Yep. I've been there.
Yeah. And then you go here, look at Irene. That's Brian Forrester's wife.
Yeah. Irene, yeah.
And we have a film that we show. A gentleman took a piece of andesite stone, a block of andesite. What I showed you was andesite stone.
Wow.
And he has a brand new copper chisel. And he holds the copper chisel up to the camera.
Yeah.
And very nice point, right? He goes, bam, he hits it one time. Then he shows the chisel. It's immediately blunted. So if you can't cut andesite stone with a copper chisel, stop lying to us.
Right.
Stop telling us that the Inca were master stone builders. The Inca had nothing to do with this. This is pre-flood architecture. Yeah. I've labeled it. Tim Alberino calls it cyclopean architecture. Yeah. I call it fallen angel technology, Nephilim architecture. That's what I call it. And Chris, it's everywhere.
Yeah, the pyramids, and since you said that, the pyramids in Egypt, right? They kind of show resemblances, and I don't know if you've seen the news that just came out, LA, but they found these cities, literal structures underneath the pyramid. Oh, look, you brought it up. Look at that. Those structures underneath the pyramids, man. So you're way ahead of the game.
I actually interviewed the scientists.
Wow, man.
Yeah, once the story broke, I got a hold of them and I interviewed them. And it's holding. And what people don't understand, there's multiple satellites using this technology going over multiple. It's not just one pass. They're going over the pyramid, the Khafre pyramid, multiple times. And the data comes back the same.
What do you think that really is, LA? What do you think that technology is underneath?
I think this whole thing was a Giza power plant. I think it powered the ancient world before the flood, and it was wiped out in the flood. Robert Schoch showed the Sphinx that the erosion around the Sphinx is water. It's not wind, it's water erosion. And the Sphinx was repurposed. The Great Pyramid is not a tomb. And the reason why the pushback This rewrites all of history.
Oh man.
It completely rewrites history. And this is why I'm way out in front of this, because the New Agers, and by the way, I've got to leave in 8 minutes.
No problem.
But the New Agers will tell us, see, the Anunnaki were here. We were visited by ancient astronauts. Not so fast, citizen. We were visited by the fallen angels who created this whole superstructure on a global level, and that's why the flood happened. They had to do it.
Yeah.
There was technology that was here, and when you go to places like Sacsayhuaman, something happened there, cataclysmic, that happened there. When you go to Ollantaytambo and you look, the whole thing is thrown down. What the heck are we looking at?
Yeah.
When you look at the Nephilim, the second incursion after the flood, multiple incursions after the flood, you see the vestiges when Joshua and Caleb come into the promised land and they push the Nephilim out. There was a stele on the north shores of Africa. Thank you, Mondo Gonzalez and Tim Alberino, who shared this with me, and also Mark Kahn. These three guys were the ones that, showed me this. So Procopius sees this stele. It says this: "We are those who fled from the face of Joshua the robber, the son of Nun." What's that doing on the shores of North Africa?
Right.
Nephilim tribes. And what people don't get, and Thor, in our film, On the Trail of the Nephilim, in the very first episode, we show Thor Heyerdahl proved that you could take a papyrus boat and you could just put a sail on it, and no compass, no map, nothing. If you sail from the Straits of Gibraltar, the end of the Mediterranean Sea that goes into the Atlantic Ocean, you put up that sail, you wind up on the island of Barbados. That's the New World. And that's where they started, and then they went up. They also came across because they come across the Mediterranean, and we, in On the Trail of the Nephilim, Lost Civilizations, we show some of this. But there's footage that we have from other places that we've never done anything with, which is why I need to get busy in my edit booth over there.
Right.
But they island hopped. They went from the Promised Land to Cyprus to Gozo to Malta to Sardinia to Sicily to Majorca, then into Spain, and from Spain to Portugal, Portugal to France, France to England, over to Ireland, and over to the New World.
So
it's all here.
Yeah. So essentially, LA, and I know you got to go soon, but essentially, this is Nephilim technology, but it's really fallen angel technology given to the Nephilim, right? So it's really fallen angel technology. Now, we know that the Nephilim are still here. I don't know if you've seen these videos, LA, but there's people literally filming Nephilim hiding in the mountains right now. And there's videos that have come out, and this is not AI. It's 100% verifiable, right? Because the sources are verifying it. But the next question, since we already know all this, what do you think about Antarctica? What do you think do you think they're hiding there? L.A. Marzulli, what do you think is going on over there, my friend?
Well, let me put it to you this way. Hitler was obsessed with Antarctica, New Schwabenland. We know he was there. The Piri Reis map is incredibly enigmatic because it shows Antarctica without ice. So what are we looking at? You can go to Antarctica. So that whole thing of not being able to go there is a ruse. You can only really go in the summer months, because in the winter, forget about it.
Yeah.
There are bases there. I get that. All sorts of crazy stuff. But what is hidden underneath there? A very large pyramid, perhaps. Underground cities, perhaps. Admiral Byrd's diary, I don't give any credence to that at all, because you could write that in an afternoon, and there's no one else is backing that up. But Hitler was obsessed with Antarctica, and Hitler was an occult adept, as were his surrounding, what's the word I'm looking for? The people that surrounded him. They were very much into occult, basically the occult, period. And so U-boats go missing at the end of World War II. I believe Hitler escaped the bunker.
Wow, that's great.
Absolutely. He escaped the bunker. He wound up in Argentina, Bariloche, and lived to a very ripe old age, along with many other Nazis.
Wow. And you think that they were trying this whole time to find just fallen angel technology?
Correct.
Just like our governments are doing now, right?
Well, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Look, this is a piece of metal that we found in the Roswell debris field right there.
Wow.
It was buried 8 inches. Thank you, Chuck Sikowski. Thank you, Frank Kimbler, for taking us there. My business partner, Gil Zimmerman, and I filmed it. We're the only, according to Chuck Sikowski, we are the only film company ever to show a piece of the Roswell metal coming up out of the ground.
Yeah.
This is it. This is it. That's what it looks like. We've taken it to a scanning electron microscope, and the metal is folded in on itself like this. It's between 2 known aluminum alloys, but it doesn't match anything that we have.
It's not earthly. Yeah.
We don't know that yet. That's a leap, but
So there was, I'm gonna send you after today, maybe tomorrow morning, LA. I'm gonna send you a new interview that came out in Redacted. Not many people have seen it. It's I don't know if you've ever seen the show. Redacted is a secular show,
yeah.
but they got great info. And they had a whistleblower come on. The whistleblower worked for the Army, the United States. He's been using a mask this whole time, putting information out about UFOs and UAPs. He finally came out a week ago, and he said that there's literal crafts in the ocean all around the world that he visited them personally. And then he gave his testimony of visiting the moon, LA, Marzulli. And he talked about these beings in the moon that are living in the moon, and they're fallen angels. I want to share that info with you. I don't know if you've heard anything about this, but
I have not heard exactly what you just said. I would like to see that interview. Very, very interesting.
it seems legit. So I'm going to send it to you. I know you got to go, my friend, but I would like to do this again at some point. So hopefully we can have another call, my dear LA Marzulli.
Well, I'd love to have you come on our show and give us your testimony.
That would be great. I would love that. Let me know when, and we can meet. And my testimony is long. I just gave you a little piece of it.
Oh, we can do that. And folks, before I go, deception2026.com, deception2026.com, virtual conference, January 16th and 17th. $20 and you're in.
LA Marzulli, may the Lord bless you, keep you, shine his face upon you, be gracious to you, lift his countenance on you. And I love that you're doing the true signs of the Kohanim, my friend. Amen.
Hey, there it is.
Amen. Until next time.